Welcome to episode 18 of the Music PRODcast. This week,
we're at 18 now, eh?
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
Episode's coming out on Saturday because Black Panther came out yesterday, and we're talking about the album this week. And I wanted to go check it out first to see what the movie was like, what the music in the movie was like.
Yeah.
And then talk about it today. And joining me, my co-host Owen Viragos.
What's going on, everyone?
And I'm your host, McLachlin. And
today's episode is brought to you by. Oh no, it's
not a twist off.
It's not a twist off.
Wait, pause. We'll.
My girly wine bottle opener here.
We'll just, yeah.
I'm just embarrassing myself. Okay.
Ooh.
That was pretty
like
bad demo.
That was like some ASMR.
Yeah.
Opening.
We're doing Foley now here.
Yep. Okay, let's jump into some news. First news story, which we both found out about, was Best Buy is going to stop selling CDs as of July 1st.
Part of me thought they already did.
Yeah, that's true. You don't really see them. At least I don't when you walk in there.
It's one of those things where you're like, oh yeah, no one buys CDs, and then it's like, they're stopping selling them? What? What's going on? Like, I was kind of like, people were still kind of off put by it, but I remember Target stopped a while back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And what was the other? I think it was Best Buy, and there was another one, right? I think it's like a similar type, like electronics store that's stopping selling them.
Yep.
I don't know. My question to you is like, when's the last time you would have bought a CD at Best Buy specifically?
I don't think I've ever bought a Best Buy CD.
Yeah,
ever.
right?
Ever.
Yeah.
I go in there for maybe the memory cards. I bought some memory cards.
Okay, like more film equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, man, I cut myself opening that.
Oh.
Wow, really putting my all into this one. But I feel like it was long overdue. I feel like the reason it probably takes so long is because they have some kind of, deal with the labels and stuff that they have to work out and say that they're not going to continue on selling their stuff. So it was probably more like a behind the scenes thing. They were probably trying to get CDs out of there for a while, but I'm sure there was lots of legal problems, the inventory problems. Like, what are they going to do with all those CDs? Like, I bet there's so many unsold CDs.
Yep. That's probably the biggest reason that they're stopping now. They're continuing to sell vinyl, even though vinyl in America only sold 8.6 million vinyls last year.
Last year, 8.6 million total?
Vinyls. And do you know how many CDs were sold in America?
No, how many?
74 million. So that's like...
And there was 8.9 million vinyls. So it's way over.
I think Best Buy is going to stop selling vinyls as soon as their contract with their supplier is up.
Right.
Because I think that's the biggest reason that they're stopping now for CDs.
Like, I just don't see people going to Best Buy and for CDs or vinyl, really. Like, if you're going to get vinyl, like, why wouldn't you go to a vinyl store? Or like Best Buy is kind of, like, I feel like it'd be a weird demographic that would go there to buy vinyl. I see why, like, CDs are really just, like, they're really just trying to get rid of it because it's the same, it's still a digital copy. Like, vinyl is analog or whatever, so, like, it does have a different sound and all that stuff to it. The realness of it, I guess, and how it's printed. But, like, when you're listening to a CD, you're literally just listening to, like, WAV files and stuff. So there's not much of a reason to buy CDs over streaming or iTunes. Like, there's not the same benefits that come with buying vinyl, or the people that like vinyl, that, like, there's just not the same reason. I don't know. Have they stopped already? Like, or when's the actual last date?
July 1st.
July 1st, yeah.
That's the cutoff date.
There's probably going to be some good sales, everyone.
Yeah, that's true.
Go get some, like, probably $1. It'll be like there'll be like one of those big bins. Yeah. And it'll have like every CD.
Yep.
Because I don't mind. Like, I still like buying the cover and like reading the booklet, and
Yep.
there is still something about having a physical CD, but it's been a while since I bought one now.
Yep.
What would have been the last CD you bought?
Probably a CD for my mom for Christmas.
Right. Yeah,
She still listens to CDs.
Yeah.
She's a big 8-track CD player.
Oh yeah, in her car.
No, in just in our living room at home.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, CDs. Yeah, maybe just for car stereos, even like they could still stick around for a bit, but
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see. I think 15 years max for CDs.
Yep.
And then like it'll be a weird thing. It'll be funny if maybe one day CDs will come back and have like the novelty of a tape.
Yeah, or a vinyl.
Yeah, that'd be very interesting. Like, yeah.
Buy a classic 2001 CD player on Amazon for like $1,000.
Yeah, original printing. Like
Yeah.
it's like okay.
Yeah.
That'll be funny. It'll come too.
Yep.
That day will come.
Speaking of the shift from analog stuff to digital streaming, another big piece of news was that songwriters are getting a huge pay raise for streaming services. So getting a bump from 10.5% of revenue to 15.1%.
Oh, sweet. Along with that, I don't know if this is like included in that, but on streaming services now they are listing all the songwriters, producers. So that must have something to do with it too.
Yeah, the shift from 10.5% of revenue to 15.1% is the largest increase in CRB history. The ruling also includes a late fee for streaming services that don't pay publishers and songwriters on time. So I know Jason Chapman, one of our professors, told us last year that pretty soon, like, people are going to start figuring out how to make money off streaming. Like, there was a bit of a lack of it.
Of revenue from streaming.
Yeah, but now we're sort of figuring out how to do that.
Yeah, it's definitely getting closer. Everyone's just realizing now, like, we have to figure this out. Like, record industries are probably freaking out and stuff like that. I think that's good. I think it's good that they're getting the raise. I think it's good that they're also getting the acknowledgement now. Like, when I saw that all songwriters are now getting credit, producers, pretty much almost everyone involved, you'll actually be able to see the credits on the streamer or on the streaming service now, which I think is a pretty big step forward too. Because that's where a lot of the talent is behind the songs. Unless you like composed it all in your room and whatever, then a lot is credited to the songwriter.
Yep. And I'm going to start this last news story off with a question.
All right.
Can you describe what VEVO is?
I feel like it's evolved since I first saw it. VEVO I would answer like it's an extension of YouTube that is like covers music videos.
Yep, that's a pretty good definition. I didn't know what it was really until I looked at this article. Its official title is a video hosting service based on YouTube. They also have a website and merch and all that stuff. It was founded by the big three record companies, Universal, Sony, and Warner.
Yeah.
But also owned by Alphabet, which owns Google, which owns YouTube. So
Alphabet owns Google?
Alphabet's sort of like the big...
like Illuminati?
the biggest company at
I thought Google... Okay, that just blew my mind. Alphabet?
Yep, Alphabet's a thing.
I'm not even familiar with that. That's what's freaking me out right now. They own Google? Yikes.
Yeah, so the news is regarding how YouTube is now switching from VEVO channels to official artist-related channels. They'll sort of like be combined into a single account for each artist. A YouTube spokesman said artists will not be able to opt out of the subscriber migration process. So all of the VEVO channels, like VEVO, or Taylor Swift VEVO, will then turn into
Taylor Swift official.
Official, yeah. And all the subscribers from those channels will be just flipped.
So they're just
the other
taking
ones.
like their... But VEVO will still exist? or is it gonna dissolve?
I'm not sure, actually. That's a good question.
I remember when VEVO was first like starting, and I was just confused by it. Like all of a sudden everything was their name VEVO, and to me it kind of confused me why they needed that.
Yeah.
Because it was only like major label artists that had a VEVO account, and if you're like a major label artist or like part of the mainstream or whatever, then people are gonna find your music, whether it's on VEVO or not, or whatever. Yep. So I'm not really sure what the point of VEVO was at the start.
Probably just to make money, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah.
It's just like.
But what were they adding? Like, what was their value?
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
because it ended up on YouTube anyways. Yep. At one point, I had a VEVO app on my phone.
Yeah.
That just had VEVO channels, but I found it pointless because I could watch it on YouTube.
Yeah.
There was just way more ads on it. But well, that's interesting then. So that's kind of like the end of VEVO.
Yeah, it could be. Let's talk about Black Panther and the album. It was released February 9th. I think we should probably clarify something about the whole Black Panther franchise as a comic.
Yeah.
Like, it's not actually inspired by the Black Panther Party.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, even though the connection now is pretty much...
It's a strong connection.
Yeah, it's pretty much a given now. But the Black Panther Party started in 1966 and went till 1980. And the first Black Panther comic was actually created in 1966 as well.
What?
Yeah. But they were like on completely different sides of the states. Like Jack Kirby and Stan Lee created that character in New York, I think. While the Black Panther Party started in Oakland, I think.
Wow.
I believe, on the other side. So it was just like a coincidence. And Marvel even switched the name of Black Panther to Black Leopard for a year, and then they switched it back because everyone got mad.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that. Both 1966.
Yeah.
Opposite sides.
And this album pretty much includes a lot of big names. It's got SZA, of course, Kendrick Lamar, The Weeknd, Vince Staples, Travis Scott, Khalid, J-Rock, 2 Chainz, Schoolboy Q.
Yeah.
And this is sort of what people call the Avengers effect, which is ironic because we're talking about a Marvel soundtrack. But the Avengers effect is pretty much if a whole bunch of different individual parts that are successful coming together into one thing to make that even more popular and successful. So that's why it's called the Avengers. Like, you had all these successful movies like Captain America, Iron Man, the Hulk, and then if you bring them all together, that's sort of like a must-see event.
It multiplies their popularity.
Yeah. And it happens the same with music. You get a whole bunch of big stars together on one song, and everyone wants to listen to it.
It's true. I think there was just as much hype for this album as there was for the movie, which was really interesting to see. And I think it's a cool. I think it's like turning over a new stone for how soundtracks are going to be made from movies. And I know it's not like the first time like it's been like, oh, let's pick an artist to do a soundtrack or whatever, but like a hip hop artist that kind of ties into like the themes of the movie and stuff. Yeah. Originally, Kendrick was only asked to do like a couple songs for it, and then I guess he saw a pre-screening, and he was just so inspired by the movie. He's like, I want to do the whole soundtrack, and that's how it came about. Yeah, but and
he has producing and writing credit on all 14 songs.
Yeah,
on this album, so it's not too bad. It's
heavily involved. Yeah,
probably a little bit of money made there.
Oh yeah, Kendrick's not struggling for money right now. That's a fact. But yeah, overall, like I was, since I don't know much about Black Panther the comic and stuff like that. Like I was definitely more excited for the album. Yep. And I was like really pleased when I heard it. I wouldn't say it's as like artistically ambitious as maybe we're used to from like Kendrick Lamar. Like as far as like exploring themes and exploring different like sounds sonically and stuff like that. But I think it did what it was supposed to do, like excellently. Just create lots of really catchy songs, really well produced, well written songs too. Like everything makes sense. And it's kind of just all tied together by this movie, which is really cool. It was a lot more like cohesive than I expected. I was worried about it kind of sounding like a compilation album.
Yeah.
Or something like that, you know, just kind of like a best of or something like that. But then the production really tied everything together, and Kendrick overseeing everything, like it was actually cohesive. Like it was a good listen from like even start to finish. Yeah. But also the songs, because there's so much star power on each song, they stand on their own too. So it's really interesting in that sense.
Did you have a favorite or one that you'd recommend the most?
A favorite song? I think Bloody Waters might have been one of my favorites.
Yep.
Because I love Anderson .Paak.
Yep.
And Absol's really good on that as well. I think like the first song, Black Panther, is definitely the most experimental it gets. And I love like the twisted piano sounds in that, and like just the weird, like it gets super trippy and experimental at like the middle of the song, then it goes back to like the kind of calmness. And Kendrick's actually like rapping from the point of view of the Black Panther.
Yeah, T'Challa.
T'Challa, okay. Yeah. You saw the movie, so you know how to pronounce it. Yeah. I was like gonna look it up. T'Challa. That was really cool, and that was one of my favorite appearances of him on it, on that whole album actually. I like X a lot because Schoolboy Q's on it. He makes a good reference to Humble by Kendrick. He's like, not even Kendrick can humble me and stuff like this. September's been good to me. But that was really cool. I was impressed by Georgia Smith's vocals. I believe she's a UK artist, and I first heard of her like just on Drake's More Life of all people. But yeah, she had a really good song called I Am on here, like with a really good beat. Overall, like I was really impressed with like just the production. Like it sounds glossy, but like in a good way. Like it's very it's easy to digest. Like I felt immediately kind of like familiar with the songs, like in a good way, because it's designed to reach a mass audience. Like the TDE is like a very like conscious sort of like tries to have all these like deep meanings in their stuff. So because it was kind of trying to reach a larger audience, I think some of it was kind of dumbed down, but not in a bad way. Like it just did what it was supposed to do really well. I would also say I did like the single All the Stars. Like I think that was the first song that they released, and like I don't know, the production has like kind of like an 808s Heartbreaks kind of tone to it, and SZA is just like killing the chorus, and she has a cool verse, and like I think SZA delivered really well. What's the presence of like the soundtrack like with the movie?
It's definitely not like Guardians of the Galaxy, if you've seen that movie, where they pretty much just play the song as is. Like ABCs by Michael Jackson, the Jackson 5, is in Guardians of the Galaxy, and they just literally play the song in the movie.
Right.
The songs are a lot more hidden and a lot more a part of the movie soundtrack than another movie like Guardians of the Galaxy. I only really recognized a couple of songs. Like All the Stars is the closing credits song, of course, because it's the big pop hit. But I also recognized X, Bloody Water, and The King's Dead as well. Yeah. In there. There's a whole lot of big drums in this movie, and it's interesting how they combine that with all of the beats and instrumentals of the album.
What would you say the score was like? Because the score, I was intrigued to find out, was written by composer and Childish Gambino collaborator Ludwig Göransson. I'm not okay. That's terrible. I'm sorry. I just totally mispronounced his name, but he has an O with 2 dots over it. I don't even know how to say that. But but was it like kind of like when you say big drums, like kind of like tribal sort of feels and stuff like that? That's interesting. That's cool. I'm happy for this Ludwig guy. Like he's probably getting so much work lately. And he's a really talented guy.
So how many Black Panthers out of 10 would you give this album?
Ooh. I'll give it a 7.
A 7, okay.
I'll say strong 7. I'm gonna get a needle jaw thing. Strong 7, light 8. That's what I'll say.
I'd probably give it a 6. I'd give it a 6, even though it's not really my genre of music.
Yeah.
And I don't really enjoy it. Like, I know good music when I hear it.
Yeah.
Even if I don't enjoy it.
Yeah. And that's kind of where I'm at with it too. Like, it's not necessarily like the album that I'm just gonna keep playing and stuff.
Yeah.
Because it is just a bunch of like hits, and like they just sound like they could all be like radio songs even just on their own. And that's not what I listen to all the time. But for what it is, like I think it was accomplished really well. So like taking apart my own enjoyment like away from it, like it's a strong 7. Like I think it lived up to the hype and stuff. Like it worked. They did it.
Moving on to the game for this week, I have sort of stole/borrowed a concept that is done on the Relevant podcast. They have a game called Blank or Indie Band, but this week is we're playing a game called Superhero or Indie Band, Indie Rock Band.
Oh man, this will be good.
I'll give you a name of either a superhero or an indie rock band, and you'll have to decide which one is which.
All right.
I have 14. And I think if you get 8 right, then you win.
Okay.
Just a little bit over half.
All right.
That's what we'll start with.
This will be interesting.
Okay. Starting off with number 1, Super Moby Dick of Space.
I think that's an indie band.
Wrong. It's a superhero.
Oh my gosh.
It's literally just a giant whale that flies around space. That's what it is.
Well, that's what you would think.
Yeah.
I thought maybe the Moby Dick was like a Led Zeppelin reference.
Yeah, something like that. Okay. Number 2, Brother Voodoo.
That's indie band.
Nope. It's a hero too. It's a superhero.
Oh, you're really trying to trick me on this one.
Here we go. Number 3, Ringo Death Star, with 2 R's at the end. Ringo Death Star.
I'm worried about your classification of a superhero. Like, do they have a published comic?
Yes,
and stuff?
yeah.
Oh my
they
God.
exist. You can find them.
Okay. I'm gonna say that's a band.
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
Like I don't even know now. Like,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay. Number 4, Dog Welder. Dog, D-O-G, welder. Like with a gun.
I'll say superhero.
Yep, it's true.
So I got 2.
Yeah, he's a guy that runs around. He used a dog in one hand and just like a welding torch in the other.
Who makes this?
I don't know.
Like this isn't all Marvel or anything. Like
Probably some DC as well. Okay. Number 5, Deer Hunter.
I think it's a band.
Mm-hmm. It's true. You're on a streak.
I think I've heard of them. Yeah.
You are 3 for 5
Oh, okay.
right now. Okay. Song.
Do I need 8?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
5 more to go. 6, Paste Pot Pete. Paste is in like glue. Pot is in pot. Pete is in Pete.
That's a superhero.
Yes. It's true.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Paste Pot Pete.
I'm getting the rhythm here.
Yep. Okay. Number 7,
Halfway, right?
The Almighty Dollar.
Ooh, superhero.
Yes, it's true. He's a pretty funny looking one. He just looks like a American dollar bill.
That's what I was gonna think. Like literally like a
Yeah.
rectangle. Like
Yeah.
literally a whole bill.
That's 5 for you.
I'm at 5. All right.
3 more to go. Okay. Number 8, Lady Hawk.
Superhero.
No, it's an indie rock band. Lady Hawk. Number 9, Boss Hog.
It's a band.
Yes, it's true. It's a band. You're at 6 right now, I think.
How many I got left?
You have 5 left, and you need 2. You need 2.
Okay, I think I can.
Yep. Number 10, Servotron.
Superhero.
Nope. It's an indie rock band.
The Tron got me.
Yeah, Servotron. Number 11, Bird Brain.
Band.
No, that's a superhero. Bird Brain. Bird Brain, the superhero. Okay. You have 3 left, and you need 2. You need 2 out of these 3 to get to 8.
Oh no.
Okay, here we go. Number 12. Crazy Quilt.
Indie band.
No.
No.
It's a superhero.
I gotta get the last 2 perfect.
Yes, you do. Okay. Number 13. Dawnstar.
Band.
Yes, that's
Okay.
true.
Okay.
You hang in there.
Oh, right on the wire here.
Okay. 14. Minus the Bear. Band or superhero?
Minus the bear.
Minus the Bear.
Minus?
Minus. Is it actually a bear called Minus, or does it mean minus as in the subtract sign? The Bear. What does it mean? Owen?
I would go with it means with it, like without a bear.
I think that's true.
And I think it's a band.
Yeah. I saw you were going there. I knew it.
Because that's a cool, like,
Yeah.
I was just trying to think of, like, if it would be a cool band name.
Yeah,
that's
is.
a cool game because it actually shows, like, how, like, similar, like,
Yeah.
how a cool name can
yeah.
translate
Yep.
to different mediums
Yep.
really well. Because all those superhero names could have been really cool band names,
Yeah,
too.
it's true. Yep.
That's super cool.
Yep. Minus the Bear. Sweet. You slipped there.
Wow, that was a
right under the
landslide.
wire. Yep.
That was a landslide.
Yep. Do you have any recommendations for this week?
Yeah, I'll say Raven Lene put out an EP. I'm not quite sure where she's from, but I came across her just because an artist I listened to called Steve Lacy, who's from the band The Internet, produced this EP for her. So he was promoting it, and I checked it out, and she's very cool.
Sweet.
It's got some soul, got some kind of R&B vibes to it. She's really cool. Raven Lene, Crush.
Some of that cool music.
Yeah.
And I'm going the complete opposite way. With probably some of the least cool music you can think of. Shania Twain. Her newest album released on September 29th of last year called Now. It's sort of like her comeback album.
Oh, okay.
She hasn't sang or toured for a long time now.
When was her last album?
I'm not sure. I'll look that up.
That was a while back now. I'll also recommend Needs by Versace, a past guest of ours.
Yep.
He put that out on Valentine's Day. It's really cool. It's funky. It's a good one.
She has a live album from her Vegas show released in 2015.
Oh, okay.
I think her last full album was released in 2008 called The Will of a Woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She also has like a EP that was released in 2014 with like 8 songs on it, released in 2014. The Discovery of Eileen Twain.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't really been doing much, and this album is definitely getting radio play with Life's About to Get Good.
Cool.
And
Yeah, I think I've heard that one.
it's like sort of split in like 50-50 between sort of sad songs with what she went through with her ex-husband Mutt Lange,
Right, yeah.
and like happy comeback country drinking summer beer songs.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like a healing process for her to make the album.
Yep.
That's cool. Very cool. Nice. I think we're good. Do.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
Peace out, everyone. Have a good one.